Alright, so I've got a couple more videos coming up. This is Storage Prospector here. I got a couple more videos coming up that are units that I bought last month for August. I've got some other stuff that I'm going to load up that's older stuff that I had way before I made myself the Storage Prospector. So it's lockers from probably a year ago when I first got this little camera thing. Um, so I've got some content to load up. I'm going to be on the point here. This is an eBay end of August sales. So about average for me. We did $29.57. I had $17.90 in returns, and like I've done before, I break it down by $1 to $20 items, which I don't sell anything $1. I think the cheapest I get is like $5.99 if it's a media package. But $1 to $20, $20 to $100, and $100 plus. So this month we did 103 items, sold 103 items. 64 of them were $1 to $20. I should probably say $6 to $20. 64 of them. 34 of them from $20 to $100, and 5 over $100. So, you always expect for the ones over $100. I have a few of them floating around on my page, and in the last 6 months, at least one of them has gone every month. So, you just be thankful for when they do happen. Like again, I try to shoot for $2,000 a month. Anything above that is a bonus. But I tell you what, the last couple months it's been a little worrisome, because it used to be before March was usually I was sitting $1,500 by the first 10 days of the month. So I knew that I definitely was going to hit $2,000, no problem. And it's been a little worrisome, because it's been the 15th to the 18th before I hit that mark. So it's the last week usually just blows it out of the water. I don't know if everybody's just holding on to money till the end of the month. Maybe August was a little bit more for that last week because it was an extra paycheck for a whole bunch of people. I don't know. But I'm happy with where we ended this month. I think with 3,000, I think altogether between Fleamarket and local sales and eBay, I grossed about 6K. But eBay, a third of it goes out to fees, so maybe 2,000, and I pay taxes on everything I make. So, $6,000 is about $1,800 worth of taxes on income, and, fees for eBay. When it's all said and done, maybe, $2,800 to $3,500 is what I made out of that. So, it's all good. Just trying to do it the legit way and make everything right. But let me show you some stuff that sold. You're going to hear a lot of things about G.I. Joe. When I came back from Virginia buying that unit, I had stopped in the flea market, and I spent $91 at the flea market, and I got a really big G.I. Joe collection, the 3.75 figures and the vehicles, and I have made a lot of money off of those G.I. Joes so far, and I still have a bunch of stuff listed. And I still got stuff that I bought at the flea market that I haven't listed yet. So here we go.
This
we
came
are
from
going
the
to
doll
start
unit.
this out. Y'all might have watched it or not. Like I've said before, I have nine boxes of dolls still to go through and research. I'm actually going to be going to the doll stuff because there's some Department 56. There's a amusement park that's for like the housing for Department 56 that's worth a couple $100. That's Christmas time, so I'm getting ready to go pull a lot of that stuff out of there so I can list it for Christmas. And but anyways, this doll here, I was just telling my wife that I was gonna take down dolls that were in the $20 to $25 price range because they didn't seem like they were moving. And in the last 3 days, I've sold 2 dolls. So $29. Like I said, if you haven't known before, I paid $120 for the doll unit. I'm up probably around $1,100 on the doll unit. And 9 boxes still left to go through. Alright, this is the G.I. Joe that I was talking about. It's just the small little action figures that came out in the early 80s. I bought it at I bought a tub that was a very large tub, probably 36 inches by probably 18 by maybe 18 high, tub brimming with G.I. Joe figures and vehicles. Forgive me, I'm drinking a cup of coffee right now. But I paid $40 for all the G.I. Joes. I think I'm up to somewhere between, I haven't added it all up, somewhere, wait a second, I have added some of it up. Probably around $650 to $800 that I've made off of this G.I. Joe so far. And it took me an entire week to get the to figure out the guys. And if you've ever find them before, there's a website that's called gojoe.com, and it will help you immensely with tracking down the weapons. It shows you the guys, it shows you their characteristics, it tells you what weapons they should have. It tells you everything. So there's one called Gojo Clubhouse on Facebook. They steered me to the gojo.com webpage, and both pages were immensely help. I actually had met a bunch of people on the Gojo Clubhouse that purchased stuff straight from me without having to go through eBay. So I made about $200 just off of people PayPaling me money, and I didn't have to deal with eBay fees or any PayPal fees because we did friends and family. So $35 for one little 3.5 inch G.I. Joe guy, and this was a 2005 guy. Doll, I think I took an offer of $39.95 or $41 on her. It was Dairy Queen doll. Hey, I just been outbid on a storage auction booty thing that I'm bidding on. I don't know if you guys follow Storage Auction Pirate, but Grimes Find is having an auction, and it ends the next day and a half, and we're going to do another auction. I'm actually bidding on $700 or $800 worth of stuff in that auction. But there's this doll. She's kind of cute, kind of, I don't know, but I think I took somewhere between $38 and $41 for her, plus they paid shipping. So the doll unit is paying out. Only sold 2 dolls this month, but we're still good. Alright, this was the big G.I. Joe. Had this guy, he was a mail-in offer from '89. His thumb was broken, and here, I get it up here. But his thumb was broken. If his thumb wasn't broken, I probably wouldn't be able to pull $150 out of this guy not having his weapons. He had like a little mic that stuck in his helmet and it comes out to his thing. Had he had that mic and his gun and his card, you're talking $250 to $300 G.I. Joe guy. One of the most sought after guys. His little mic goes for about $100 all by itself. So, you know, I tried to get $150 for him. I couldn't do it. Dropped it down to $125. Didn't get it. Dropped it down to $100. Sold it within a couple days. So, I paid $40 for the G.I. Joes. One guy. Alright, another G.I. Joe thing. I actually have two of these pieces of these things that's complete. I don't know why it's not zooming in. But I have two of them. I listed one of them on auction. I've got the other one sitting right here that I've got to relist again. I started my auction at $14.95. And this was the comps. What they were selling for was around $30. So that's where I was hoping it would get to. And here it is. It did it. And I've got another one to sell that should bring about the same amount of money. Almost everything about this G.I. Joe, besides some of the vehicles, is all first class shipping. It's all super lightweight. I'm putting a bubble wrap around it and putting it in a box. Even this one, this vehicle here, it was almost complete. It was missing an antenna that stuck off the back right here. And I played with all this stuff when I was a kid. I actually owned this when I was a kid. I was a massive G.I. Joe collector. This collection I bought didn't even nearly amount to what I had when I was in 5th, 6th, 7th grade. But it was really nice to be able to go through all this stuff again and I enjoyed the 2-3 days of figuring out who was who, what guy, what armor, and putting it all together. I had about 42 hours into everything. The discovery, the searching, the putting everything together, packaging it up, taking pictures, and getting it listed. So $30, one piece of equipment, plus shipping. I actually ended up shipping it first class because it ended up being about 15 ounces, so I actually made a little bit off of the shipping. It did go to California, so even at first class shipping, I think it was right around $7 plus my boxing and everything else, so probably made about $4 off of shipping. Alright, this here was part of the estate sale that I did back in March. So I sold both of them at one time. This was $119 for the two of them. It was, I think I ended up shipping this one. It went to Arizona, and it weighed more than a pound, and I think I ended up putting it in a padded flat rate for these bearings because they were heavy and it was the cheapest way to ship it. And I always look at the cheapest way to ship it. So this is something that, yes, I got it from the estate sale, but this is something where you can go to an estate sale and you can find stuff like this for $2 or $3 or $4 if it's new in the pack. If it's got John Deere on it, even the rings that go around these bearings are expensive. So this is one of those things, back to like having you search for manuals. Things at estate sales that people normally don't value a whole lot in price range, you can pick up fairly cheap, and if it's new in the pack, it's an awesome price. This book was actually one of my wife's school books, and something that she didn't need no more. She just graduated about a year ago with a medical office administration degree, and there was 2 sets of this book, and I sold both of them. But this was the more expensive one, and it was media shipping. So, media shipping's always great because it's cheap. You can get a lot of weight in there, and it doesn't cost that much. So textbooks are always a good thing, and this, I want to say, was a 2017 edition, so it was a couple years old, and I still pulled $50 out of it. Alright, this bad boy I've had this amp for, I want to say that I've had it for a better part of almost a year. I bought it for $100. It should have really sold for over $200. Maybe because the end caps wasn't there. This amp, when it came out in '98, cost almost $800. This is an old school. It's got a built-in computer. Like I said before, if you've watched other videos, I used to own a car stereo shop, so when I'm always on a hunt for old school amps. I literally have an amp sitting in my room right now that I was told it works, but I haven't had the time to test it yet, and at auction it will bring 3 to 350, and it's sitting in my room waiting to test it. So, but I ended up, since I paid $100 for it, I went ahead and just, I think I took an offer. No, it did sell straight out. I had somebody want to take offers, and it sold outright for the $150. So, you know, it sat for a long time. It was here in my room, so it sold. I made profit. Wasn't much, but sometimes getting your cash money back is more important than sitting on something forever. And honestly, I really felt like this was sitting on it forever. Alright, another G.I. Joe thing. Now see, this thing is not even complete. Okay? If you go up and you look at G.I. Joe parts, alright, they might have taken this tank and taken the top piece off, the side pieces off. They'll take every single piece off of it and they'll sell it per piece. Per piece. So I looked at what all these pieces were selling for, and I put a decent price on it. All these pieces individually were selling for around $45 to $52 individually. So I threw that on it. It took about 3 weeks. It sold. G.I. Joe guys, they're customizing these tanks, putting different paint jobs on them, putting different missiles and turrets and stuff on them. And those are going for a lot of money. So somebody that customizes one of these tanks might be getting $200-300 for it. So, you know, somebody's reselling it. Here is another ball bearing that came from the estate sale, and just a small little pack, first class shipping. Alright, this amp, I don't remember, I think I pulled this out of a storage unit, and it did power on, but it went directly to protect mode, so I listed it as parts. If this amp was working in its entirety and had the module on it, it would have sold for probably about $200 to $300. But like I said, I think I pulled it out of a storage unit, and I made a lot of money on that storage unit. And this was just sitting around in my room for a while. I finally put it up as parts, and hey, $42 is better than it sitting there collecting dust. G.I. Joe, $29.95, one G.I. Joe figure, and I believe I had all of him but one thing, and his card was missing. Yep. Missing a gun in his card. So $30 for one little figure. So, you know, even if you're digging in a yard sale and you find these old G.I. Joe and you see them broke apart in pieces, they may still be worth money. Okay, guys? So it doesn't hurt, and you know, you find something like this and they're all broken different pieces and stuff, just think about it, that maybe that arm might be worth $5 or $6, and you could probably pick them up for a quarter because they're all broken. Alright, this guy here, $34.95. This person that bought this G.I. Joe literally bought 3 G.I. Joes from me, and he paid $72.95 for 3 G.I. Joes. So, and it was combination shipping. I gave him a break on shipping. I think he had paid $12.18 for shipping, and I think I charged him $8.50 to ship all 3 of them. So, you know, and I refunded the difference of that money because they had asked for it. And I don't know how to set up my eBay so that I can combine shipping on different buys. Hey, if somebody knows, let me know, because I don't know how to do that. Alright. TV unit. I know this one isn't that much, but this is just one of those things where there's the TV, 60-inch TV, small parts, and it's got the speakers, it's got a panel, it's got the on-off switch, it's got a Wi-Fi plug-in right here, it's got a couple cables and wires. Okay, most of the times when you got a flat screen TV that has a broken, busted screen, everything behind that screen is good. The power supplies are good. The video thing is good. All this wiring stuff is good. The only thing that's broke is the screen. You can pick up a flat screen TV that's been broke for, you know, $5 or $10. It's because somebody's throwing it away. You can go to the convenience center and get you a TV for free that somebody's broke the screen on. All the parts behind it are good. Okay, so on average, this is the small parts. I sell my small parts between $18 and the $28. Okay, so you think that there's a motherboard in there, that it works. You can plug in the TV and you can see it trying to make a screen. That means that your power supply is working. That means that you can almost guarantee that everything behind that screen works. Just somebody busted the screen. And parting out a TV that you can pick up for free to $10, you can make anywhere between $85 and $150 for that TV. So, you know, if you've got the time, and it's all it is taking a bunch of screws out and taking some screws out, disconnecting stuff, and keeping it organized. There's good money in it. Just letting everybody know. Alright. Alright, this I had to split with Brandon, and yes, that cover is very vulgar, and that the way you see that cover is what that kind of music is. Brandon got a collection a couple months ago, and we auctioned off a whole bunch of stuff right off the get-go. I mean, he bought it for like $20 for the collection. It was about 50 records. I listed 30 records. He just didn't want to ship a record. He had never shipped records before. I ship records all the time. So we sold half of those 30 records for almost $800. I think since that first auction, this was the biggest, most expensive one in there. And it was like a $200 value record, but nobody could get me to, nobody would spend it. So hey, I got $85 for an LP. And after it was all said and done, I think we got $37 a piece. So here's the big ticket selling. Alright, so this I've had for a while. I got this one back. This was a Greenlean cable tugger. The guy who purchased it said that this thing brand new runs about $2,500. I had seen them listed, sold for anywhere between $800 and $1,500. So I listed mine at $950. I've had it since March. I had a guy that was on vacation, said that he wanted to come look at it. He came out and looked at it. It was my very first pickup only. Well, I sold a car pickup only. So, you know, he came out, he gave me $475 for it, pickup only. He paid through PayPal, so I went ahead and had to do with the fees and everything else. But the chains on it, they sell for like $250. Just these two chains on it. So, you know, I'm happy. It came out of the unit that I paid $660 for back in March. So, you know, it's just a bonus. That was my big sale for the month. These came from Betty's Locker. I had to throw something in there that came from Betty's Locker. We sold about 5 pieces. Some people are just idiots when buying. Alright, so... Alright, this is a funny one. Alright, guys. So, before I went off for my estate sale, I had a bunch of audio equipment listed on my page, and literally had about 100 items that were bigger items like this that required bigger boxes and everything. So before I left, I took all that down because I didn't want to carry that up to Kentucky with me, and I just had smalls items with me. And then I relisted this. This thing was listed for 3 or 4 months before I left Kentucky. This one right here, like I've said before, I've got convenience centers that I dump at, and this was found in the in the metal bin. It was sitting right on top, and I carried it home. It was a vintage karaoke machine, and it allows you to record on it. It's got things that you can change the echo, you can change your speed, slow it down, everything. Everything on it worked great. And when I had it listed 8 months ago, before I left for a thing, I had it for like 75 bucks. And, you know, I just threw it up there and did that, and it sold. And it was just one of those things that, you know, you just never know when you list stuff. So, last thing, this shortwave radio, it came from the Cincinnati auction. Like I said, at the Cincinnati auction, I knew this would sell. Every time I get one of these, they sell. You look for the ones that say Sony and Panasonic. They sell for a little bit more than 40 bucks. But everything on this one was working. The antenna was there. The battery tray was clean. Shortwave radio. Alright, so alright, so we went to the end of the month. It was a pretty good month. Like I said, I shoot for $2,000, and anything over that is a bonus. I really like those months that there's 4,000 or 5,000, which they're coming up. October, November for the last 2 years have been the amazing months. I had one November 2 years ago, right after we got Betty's Locker. We did like $6,000 that month, which was awesome. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found stuff that in here that you maybe didn't look for normally. I'm gonna keep doing it. You know, I know it's all about the likes and the shares and everything else on eBay, but honestly, in this business, it is a very lonely business. So talking into this computer and talking to you guys, it just fills something else in my life. Today, I'm actually going and picking up something from my car show stuff. I have a bicycle that's been in the paint shop for the last 3 months. A bicycle, not a motorcycle, bicycle. One-off custom built. My buddy, one of the best airbrushers here in North Carolina, has been painting it, and he told me today that I need to bring toilet paper and a chin strap, because I'm gonna poo-poo myself or my chin's gonna be down on the ground when I see this bike. He said he's touched every single square inch of this 24-inch chopper bike that I had with his paintbrush, his pen stripe. I can't wait to see it. Then I gotta get it to the bike shop and have them put the bike together and everything else, so I can cruise at car shows and Myrtle Beach. I go to Myrtle Beach twice a year with my car club. I just booked a thing in Maggie Valley for Mini Truck and Nats, this is just my hobby. I've been in the car life where I've got a lowrider and a mini truck. I've been in it for since about 1998, and my Mustang I've been working on for 21 years, and my truck, which is also at the shop getting worked on, I've had it for 3, and it's an old school mini truck with the wide tires on it sitting low. And so, you know, it's things like I could afford to do all that stuff before when I was working a full-time job. This is my full-time job now. Me and my wife are saving for a house next year. We're hoping by March we can start the process for pre-approval. And we had to fix her credit, which now it's kind of fixed. We're just trying to get her beacon score higher. We're hoping that she's going to be upper 6s, 7, and it looks like I'm gonna be like mid 7s to 8. So that's what we're shooting for, and then hopefully I can get that big building. I'm wanting a big building. I want like a if we get the house with enough land, which around here we should be able to pick up a house with a decent amount of land with no restrictions on the building, and I'm shooting to get a 28 by 85 metal building, concreted. It gonna have office space, building the whole thing, and it's gonna be my entire business. And hopefully, I can grow to the point where I have a couple people listening for me part time or full time. And I'd really like to get to a point where I can buy storage or I can buy business cleanouts, and I've got somebody working for me that helps with all the lifting and stuff, so I don't have to do so much of that. But if you made it through the end of this video, please go check out Grimes Find on High Bid. Storage Auction Pirate from his $7,000 unit is auctioning off that whole $7,000 unit. Plus, if you watch Storage Auction Pirate, he bought 3 shipping containers or things at, like, I think it was a U-Haul place, and he had gotten a bunch of high-end purses and nice, like, Prada and very, very that upper end stuff. It's in the auction too. There's going to be 2 auctions. The first one ends the 3rd, I think. The first one ends the 3rd. It is just like High Bid. You register, and it's dollar bids. And Grimes Find says that they will ship anywhere that you want it to go to. You're in Russia, you can get it shipped there. So, check these guys out. Shout out to the Storage Auction Pirate and Grimes Find and Stalker. I just watched the video with the 3 of you guys in it, which was kind of cool. You guys are hilarious, and I appreciate everything you do. Storage Prospector here. Please like, share, get my word out there. I'm doing the best job I can. I'll get as much video out as I can, and this month's going to be a little bit weird because I don't think I'm going to buy any storage units this month. I might try to do some yard selling. Me and my wife are vacationing middle of the month, so maybe I can do some other just life stuff that goes on in my life. Alright, so thanks a lot. I appreciate everybody that does watch and like and make comments. Thanks a lot, everybody.